Hello, please excuse my hair. I am here to talk about. I have paper. But this is some stuff about the Star Wars sequels and spin offs Disney is going to make. Now, this was actually listed in or made May of last year, so keep that in mind. However, and we'll get more into that a little later, but some of the stuff said about the movies, but some of the stuff they make is a very good point. What they're saying is they will destroy the franchise because Disney's Star Wars movie release schedule is going to destroy the franchise. Recently, a German news site posted the rumored schedule and names of the Star Wars movies up to 2020. It was supposed to be part of the presentation by Hasbro, the company that makes the Star Wars toys. And here's the results. Autumn 2014, Rebels, which is the new show on Disney, which is okay. It's not a bad series, but I guess introducing it to a new audience with kids, it's okay. December 2015, Episode 7. 2016, Boba Fett. 2017, Episode 8. 2018, Solo. 2019, Episode 9. 2020, Red 5. Normally, I don't put much credibility into these kind of rumors, but it confirms what Disney said at Comic-Con, that they are going to release a new Star Wars movie every year. Or every summer, actually. But I guess every year, in a sense, is more appropriate, since Episode 7 can't come out in the summer, because summer's here. For films, it's basically summer starts in May. They kind of already broke that cycle, because every Star Wars movie came out in May. Not this year. But whatever. It was just like a tradition, basically. It seemed like, at least. Every May, a new Star Wars film comes out when you hear about Star Wars. But yeah. But yeah, they pretty much. Plus, it matches rumors Disney wants to make films off of hot characters like Boba Fett and Yoda. They already said they would be making standalone movies, so it's no surprise Boba Fett will have a movie coming up. And I was just kind of paraphrasing, but still, it's the same thing, basically. Here are the reasons the franchise will be destroyed by this schedule. If I can talk, that'd be great. And I also want you to know, I'm not too crazy about new Star Wars movies, because I don't know, I'm like, 6 was great, the 6 movies were fine. I never hated the prequel, so I'm not one of the people that got on that bandwagon, but I can see why some people would be a little not as enthralled as the original trilogy, like some of the acting with Anakin, Jar Jar Binks, which he is annoying, but I think Boss Nass is a little more annoying than him. But I guess because he wasn't shown as often as Jar Jar, people blame him for a reason why Phantom Menace sucks. And I also never really thought, why do we need new Star Wars movies? I mean, I know Lucas planned it to be a 12-part series, which some people actually don't know that. Some people are like, well, it's always supposed to be 9 movies. No, he made it so it's like, because I know this because Mark Hamill, during an interview for the original Star Wars film, he said that he was talking to Lucas on the set, and just kind of like, he was just question, like, where do you like think that my character will go throughout the next two films of this trilogy? And Lucas told him, well, this first off, I guess he wanted Hamill to know more than certain context what the series is going to be like. This is actually episode 4, and this trilogy would be 4 through 6, obviously. And then within 10 years, this is how they thought back then. We'll do 1 through 3 to tell the backstory of how all this came to be, like Darth Vader and Obi-Wan and all that good stuff, and all that good stuff. And then we'll bring you guys back 20 years from now to do 7 in the new trilogy. Then after so time, it'll be like with your kids and your guys' kids, and it's all gonna be a 12-part series. Is essentially what it came down to. But it seems like for now, Lucas, it seemed like he just kind of cut that in half and decided just to make 6 films. Now with Disney, it's gonna be a total of 9 films. However, let's not at all think it'll just end at 12 or 9. They could make the 12 movies. Sorry for not getting into why this guy thinks he's with these 4 reasons this franchise will be destroyed or something on those lines, but I guess I wanted to put into context my feelings, and it seems like Lucas for a long time just wanted to make 6. But since he thought now since he wanted to do other things, like I know he wanted to make a science fiction musical, like he wanted to direct and produce one, and do artsy films and stuff like what he used to do before Star Wars and Indiana Jones and these big franchises he created, which is cool, but could have just left it at 6, but and while I'm not entirely on board for the new Star Wars films, I will say this, just to get this out of the way, as if when I'm done with this, I may forget to say it, I will give the new movies the benefit of the doubt, because I'm going to go see them, I'm a Star Wars fan, I'm a diehard Star Wars fan, I've loved Star Wars ever since I was real small, but still, even some of the most diehard Star Wars fans should really be questioning how Star Wars would be. A lot of people are like, it's going to be great because Disney owns it, and I'm like, just because Disney owns it doesn't mean it'll necessarily be automatically great, yeah. Alright, let's begin with this. Number 1 reason he thinks it'll destroy the Star Wars franchise. There is no time to make a good movie. What's troubling about all this is that the schedule is insanely short. Only 2 years between each sequel and a year in between each film? How can they really keep the quality with that pace? They already had to change the schedule for episode 7 after Abrams complained about losing artistic quality. I have a bad feeling about this. Which is a very good point, making it every year a new Star Wars film, it's going to be very insane, and it's like fans won't have time to kind of catch their breath in a sense and just wait in anticipation for the new Star Wars film, whether it be a sequel or spin-off. You'd be more, I guess, excited with each sequel. Like, oh, I have to wait 2 years to see what happens next, and then the spin-off comes. I have to wait 2 years to see the next spin-off. But each year you'll get a new Star Wars movie. Disney will kill us with advertising. Disney is well known for its marketing machine, and Lucasfilm is pretty intense too. Put them together, and you face a tidal wave of trailers, promos, commercials, and viral videos every time the movie is coming out. Now multiply that by 10 and imagine it happening every year. Every single year. I'm sure the trailers will be cool, but I don't want to watch them every 5 minutes. 3. Standalone films will ruin characters you love. Why do you love Boba Fett? That he's a cold-hearted mercenary, a scoundrel, a man willing to use his amazing skills for anyone who will pay him? Great! Now imagine taking all that away. Disney is rumored to be struggling with a Boba Fett movie because you can't make a movie without a protagonist or a hero. Boba Fett is not a hero. And that's true. He's a bad guy. He's a villain, I want to say, but on the one hand, if anything, he's an anti-hero, but even that doesn't necessarily completely fit him. He's just doing things for money. He's just killing people or arresting people for money. Sure, they're bad people, but at the same time, he could be paid by the Empire to be killing characters you love on the light side of the Force, like Luke or Han or Leia, people you like and love. And they'd have to probably make him more likable, and we like him the way he is already. The Solo movie could be a follow-up to an early Han Solo in Episode 7, which would be surprising since Harrison Ford hates Han Solo. Yeah, since in Episode 6 he wanted Han to die, saying there's no point in Han being around. Like, there's a reason for Luke and Leia to be around, not the other characters, but really, what's there for Han? He has no mother, father, there's nothing. But he decided to come. He was really excited to do 7, though. That's from me, though. And I wonder why that was. I mean, I like Harrison Ford and like the character of Han Solo, but makes you wonder why he decided to be back as Han Solo, even if he wasn't a huge fan. It could be a prequel story, telling one of Solo's adventures as a smuggler. That could be interesting, maybe. Also, it could be a family member named Solo, like one of Han's kids. As cool as all these ideas are, we don't really want them. Do you really want a movie focused on the Kessel Run? No, because the idea of the story is better than the reality. And that is true, because perhaps the whole story, while it sounds cool, what if the payoff is not as exciting as what we think? It just could be real disappointing. What's interesting about Red 5 is that it could be a reference to the Luke Skywalker's X-Wing fighter call sign in Episode 4. Could it be an X-Wing Fire Squadron film? That might be cool, or it could be lame. Not every movie about pilots is going to be as good as Top Gun. Remember Stealth? No comment. Just that was... If they insist on taking all the mystery out of your favorite characters, it will ruin them. And number 4, fan burnout. The great thing about the 3-year schedule between the original films is that there was time to get excited. I agree. And even with the prequels, whether you like them or not, you have to admit the 3 years apart of the prequels was enough to make people excited to see, okay, how will this get close to the original trilogy? And how will it truly tie in this story that's being told? How excited are you going to be when you know the next Star Wars sequel is coming out in 2 years? there is a thing such as there's so there's such a thing as too much of a good thing. I can't uh, read today, but then again it's kind of late too. But that could also be affecting me. Another thing is, about some of these films. It's just only speculation that Boba Fett will be one because he's such a popular character. Uh, it's said that the first spin-off will be Rogue One. Uh, and it's said there will be a solo film. Uh, uh, so it could be like about Han Solo. And there's been rumors that Disney's talking with Ewan McGregor to do a standalone Obi-Wan Kenobi film. And that could be interesting because from the sounds of it, it'll take place between episodes 3 and 4. And you can see what he was doing during that time. Or at least like a little glimpse. And we can get an idea. Another thing is, if you watch the Clone Wars series, spoiler alert if you haven't, but Darth Maul is still alive. He didn't die. So, Obi-Wan could potentially kill Darth Maul in a spin-off of his movie. That'd be kind of cool to see, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. So really, this was again made. This article was made in May of last year. I wanted to do an article maybe about some of this stuff because I've been hearing some things about people not being all into the new Star Wars movies, but they'll see it anyway just to see what they're like with each movie, each sequel and spin-off. We can only hope they will be good. But it's Disney, and Disney's one of those companies that when they say they're going to do something, they're going to do it. Will we like it or like what they're doing? Maybe not always, but we can't do anything to stop them because they're just going to do it anyway. And that's just kind of sad. But with the confirmed now what we know of the spin-off films of some of them, and what was speculation back then is kind of changed, but still the fact is, every year, like after this December, every summer there will be a Star Wars film, and I don't really know how to feel about that, but I will watch the movies and judge them accordingly, as any Star Wars fan would do, because really that's all you can do. You judge them fairly. The Star Wars prequels, in a way, weren't kind of judged fairly, and I say that because, which also this applies to what people should do with the new Star Wars movies. People were so excited and had too many expectations that when the movies came out, people disliked the prequels. And sure, as the prequels went on, they liked each one better, but still, to a certain degree, a lot of people disliked the prequels because it was built up in their head for so long before the prequels came out that the movies could never meet their expectations. They never could, no matter what. There's always going to be some level of disappointment, whether that was going to be big or small. And the same can be said about the new ones. A lot of people are really excited, but there's also a certain amount of people like me who aren't that excited for these movies because a big question is why? The only other explanation is for money. Also, Disney doesn't really care about the expanded universe. So if you like the expanded universe, doesn't seem like, at least not at the moment, we will see anything like that. So just another disappointment for people who like the Star Wars books. But that could change too. You never know. George Lucas was never a huge fan, but that's because he's more into movies, and there's a lot more money you can make with movies, with marketing and promoting them, and not so much, I guess, in the book world. I'm not entirely familiar with that, but who knows? There may be a lot we don't know. Obviously, authors get paid a lot of money. Just look at J.K. Rowling or Stephen King. You know, they get paid a lot of money and probably get a decent amount of royalties for every film adaptation of their books. So, you know, I don't know. Granted, Lucas didn't write the books, but because he's letting people write stories based off of his characters and universe, he's going to get a certain amount of. He was always going to get a certain amount of money out of that, and now Disney will. So we'll just have to see what'll happen. I really don't know. I really don't know how to feel about this, except I'm not real excited, but we'll have to wait. Hopefully they'll be good, but again, I pointed out to this article, even though it is a year old, it did make some good points, as other articles didn't make so many good points. But yeah, it's like they'll be rushing to make a new movie, it seems like, which is sad. You should take your time with movies. I'm sorry for coughing a lot. But yeah, when a movie is rushed, it just very rarely will it ever turn out well. I can't think of a movie offhand that turned out super well as a result of being rushed, but that doesn't mean there aren't any that exist. So that's all I have to say about this. Yeah, this is really a Jared's Corner episode, or maybe it is. I don't know. I haven't done something like that in a while, so this was Jared's Corner. Yeah, there you go. I've been away for a while doing a bunch of stuff, but that's not really interesting, is it? Yeah, that's all I have to say. If I have anything more before the films come out, I will say something, but as of now, that is it. But again, yeah, even if I seem negative, I'm trying to be like realistic. I want to be realistic, because some people are acting all excited and seem to be very unrealistic in the sense of expectations. We'll have to accept it. We'll have to see it for what it is. Don't get too excited. You'll be disappointed. But hopefully it'll be good. Let's just hope that. Alright, this has been Jared's Corner. And I will see you all later. Peace. Bye-bye.